Hi everybody and welcome to the RV Atlas. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we are the hosts of the RV Atlas podcast, writers over at thervatlas.com, and also authors of See You at the Campground,
Make it do a little bit.
Pick up a copy wherever books are sold. All right, today we are talking about tips for visiting America's national parks, which are, of course, one of our greatest treasures.
It's our favorite thing to do as a family. Okay, we love.
If you ask the boys, they might say water slides. But we say national parks.
I mean, we love any kind of RV trip, and we also love urban RV trips. But at the end of the day, our favorite trips as a family are all national park trips.
And they're the most memorable, too.
Most memorable?
Yeah.
Just got back from Glacier National Park. Loved Olympic National Park. We've been to Acadia National Park like 7 times.
Badlands, Mount Rushmore, they are just incredible experiences, and we really, truly believe that our kids will be talking about those trips for decades to come.
So let's give you 7 tips for visiting national parks. And we really think these tips are applicable to a lot of national parks, if not all of them. First tip, which is absolutely key, is you want to get to popular things early. Popular hikes, popular destinations, popular sightseeing spots.
All right, so here's the deal. Most people will complain about overcrowding in our national parks, and it is a problem right now. But the bottom line is that overcrowding is only a problem after, say, 10:30 in the morning.
True.
Okay?
It's so true. And honestly, like, we go to park after park, and we keep going, yup, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you get to a trailhead at a popular hike at 7:30 or 8 o'clock or even 8:30,
it'll just be you and 4 other people.
We always get parking spots.
Yep.
And then inevitably, when we're hiking back at 11 o'clock, the parking lot's packed and people are circling looking for parking.
Yeah.
So most tourists really just kind of take the morning slow. I think they go out to breakfast.
They do. They
and
all
then
eat
they show up
breakfast out.
like at Acadia National Park. They show up to Park Loop Road and they want to go down on Sand Beach.
Yeah.
10 a.m. There's no spots left. Where at 9 a.m. the parking lot was half empty.
I don't care if you're an early bird or not. You need to become an early bird if you want to have a great national park experience.
Or don't go to a national park.
Okay,
I gotta say, the one day we got to Glacier National Park, the one day we went in late, we had massive traffic and we couldn't find any parking.
Yeah. So now this is going to lead us to our second tip, right? Which is to explore the off the beaten track places in a national park in the afternoon. So every national park, it's so crowded, but really it's always crowded in like the same 5 places, right? They're the top sites that are in every guidebook.
It's what, like, because Foders, Frommers, the moon guides, they're all recommending the same 8 things at every national park.
And those things are crowded.
And sadly, that's where most people go. So there's so many other, every national park has amazing off-the-beaten-track destinations. So we do the popular things in the morning, the popular hikes in the morning. Then in the afternoon, we go off the beaten track. And we often find ourselves alone on the trail.
We'll be alone, right, on trails. Acadia National Park is one of the top 10 most visited national parks in the country. We know places in that park that we go to that we will be the only people for miles around in the afternoon. Yeah.
And we will be hiking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon alone on a trail.
So, tip number 3, how do you find those places?
You gotta get the more specific guidebooks. Okay, if you just buy Frommers, Foders, moon guides, like I said, you're gonna get the same tips. But if you get hiking specific books or books that are specific to photography or birding or boating, like the AMC guides to boating, even like the still water books, you're going to find not the 5 hikes recommended, but you're going to find 25 hikes recommended. Yeah. And you'll see the ones that are popular, and you'll also discover the gems that are a little bit off the beaten track.
Yeah.
I have bought photography books for national parks like Olympic, Acadia, and they guide me to those spots where there's no crowds and awesome places for photography. And we always buy a hiking book for every national park. So get the specific guidebooks. And where do you buy them? I stumped her. I don't know where. The national park gift shops are often the best places. Tricky. So when you go to the visitor center at Olympic, Badlands, Acadia, they're going to have the 50 great hikes in Acadia National Park, or doing photography in Acadia National Park. That's a good place to get these books when you show up at the parks.
Jeremy loves a good NPS gift shop, that's for sure.
Spent a lot of money. We spent a lot of money at Glacier National Park
this
summer.
Bust the budget there. All right, number 4. You don't only want to go to the visitor center for the gift shops. You also want to go there to talk to rangers and consult them about your plans. So we highly recommend that you have a game plan before you go to a national park. But then even all the time, no matter how much of an expert we think we are in a place, we then go in and we have a little chat with the rangers.
Don't be a know-it-all.
Don't be a know-it-all.
We really try to avoid being know-it-alls. We will
They're so boring.
every national park, the first morning, we're in the visitor center, we're talking to a ranger. And what the rangers will do, they'll size up your family. They'll look at your kids. They'll look at what health you're in.
They look bonkers.
And they'll be
they
like,
can climb a mountain.
and they'll be like, you need to do this hike, right?
Yeah.
And they'll really give you very specific recommendations based on your age, your ability, et cetera, et cetera.
Some of our favorite national park hikes
Prom,
of all
Great
time
Smoky Mountains.
were hidden things that we didn't have on our itinerary that a national park ranger recommended.
And
to
talk
us.
about getting off the beaten track. The rangers truly know all of the great hikes.
Yeah.
And they'll give you up to the minute information. A ranger will say, well, look, you want to do that hike, but it's super crowded, or maybe the trail's closed due to bear activity.
Yes.
Don't drive out there. That happened in Glacier. Why don't you try
And in the
this hike
Badlands,
instead?
too. In the Badlands, we had to change our plan because of a washout on one of the roads.
So then we got recommended an alternate hike for that day. So you got to just get in line, grab the park map, say hello to a ranger, and they're going to help you craft the perfect itinerary to your national park trip.
All right, tip number 5. Take a look at the national parks program schedule online if you can before you arrive. Now, unfortunately, the national parks are not fantastic at having everything online and accessible for us.
Sometimes the only place you can get the schedule is like
right
at the
there.
visitor center on like a chalkboard.
And it's on like a board behind the ranger. But if you can, because what has happened to us before is by the time we've gotten there and seen the schedule, we were like, oh,
we planned something already.
Right, we could have done that on this day, but here we planned this.
And
or
meanwhile,
we
the
made
rangers are doing
reservations.
like a fossil walk
Yeah,
in the Badlands.
yeah, and we've had that happen enough times that one of our priorities always when we arrive is to look at a schedule first so that we know that any like must visits are going to go to the top
Which
of
is
our
why
list.
we allow a lot of flex time in a national park trip too. So we don't plan 2 things a day every day. We do leave some spaces open so that we can be a bit spontaneous and take ranger recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, tip number 6. Guys, national parks are not theme parks.
It's not Disney World.
Not Disney World,
You
people.
can die
You
in a
can kind
national
of die
park.
there, and people do, all right?
I mean, we were in Glacier this summer, and there had been a death
not a
on
laughing
going
matter.
to the Sun Road.
Yeah.
Right before we were there.
Selfie deaths, right, are a thing in national parks. You need to take the danger seriously in a national park. The whole point of them is supposed to be to preserve and protect wildlife and natural beauty. So they're trying to put up as few barriers as possible. They're not putting up fences so people go off, of the cliff. Don't go off the cliff.
Don't go off the cliff. And now every park has different dangers.
Yeah.
And every national park website lists dangers in that park.
Danger for Will Robinson.
They'll tell
Alert.
you. I mean, because like in Glacier, you're worried about grizzlies. In Olympic, you're not worried about grizzlies. So every park's a little bit different, and going to the website and getting some safety information off the website is something to do before you go on the trip.
Yeah, and it's important to take those things seriously. Also, things you need to prep, like water that you need to have when you go on hikes. Some people joke because we all live in this society now where everything's right around the corner, right? We can get anything. There's always a restaurant.
When we were hiking in Glacier, we had to bring our own water. There was nowhere to buy water.
Yeah, there's not snack shops.
Not even at the trailhead. I mean, there's no place to buy an extra bottle of water.
Yeah,
you
so
have to be prepared, and you should bring a medical emergency kit.
First aid kit always in your backpack. All of those things, and there's lots of websites out there that can really help you prepare. Take it seriously. It's not Disney World, okay? Number 7.
Also, you want to check out the Every Kid in a Park program, which is an awesome ongoing park program, which gives 4th graders and their families free access to national parks.
Yeah,
but it's a little tricky to do it.
Oh, those national parks, they make everything so tough. Okay, so here's the deal. 4th graders in America get a free national parks pass for their entire 4th grade year. You have to go to everykidinapark.gov, and it's a really simple little form that you fill out, but then here's the tricky part. You have to print it out and then bring it to your first national park
It's
to get
actually
your
a
pass.
total pain in the neck.
And if you don't have that printout, they won't give you the Every Kid in a Park pass.
You can't show up and do it.
And believe me, I've argued with them about it. I try. I don't want to waste paper.
You have to have that. You have to have your form.
You have to have your form for the national parks. But it's awesome because not only does the 4th grader get in for free, but the rest of the family does too. And that's an $80 value. So that's something that you don't want to pass up.
I'm going to put you on the spot on YouTube.
Okay.
Your favorite national park.
Not even hard. Glacier National Park, buddy. It's amazing. It's breathtaking. There's no better place in
It's
America.
like out of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
It's
or
magic.
something.
It's magic.
For me,
what's yours?
yeah,
I know you only asked me because you want to share. Go ahead.
You almost didn't ask me. For me, and this gets Stephanie all riled up, Glacier National Park and Olympic National Park, it's a dead tie. Love them both the same.
All right.
Acadia
Whatever you
in
say.
second place.
Whatever you
If
say.
you like this video, throw us a like. It's important. It matters. Subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this show. And if you have any questions about visiting national parks on an RV trip, drop us a comment. We'll be happy to answer after. And please buy this book. You gotta
check
buy
it
this
out.
book.
We got lots of those same tips that we covered today are in here, visiting national parks, but also visiting resort campgrounds, glamping, everything.
See You
is
at the
in
Campground has an entire chapter on tips
national
for
park
visiting
travel.
national parks.
Absolutely.
More than just the 7 or 8 we gave today.
You also want to tune into our RV Atlas podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, and check out all of our articles on the RVAtlas.com. And we'll
see you at the campground. And don't forget, you can follow our crazy camping adventures on Instagram at Jeremy and Stephanie.
True.
And
All right.
we will see you at the campground.
Bye-bye, guys.